Hello and welcome everyone. Today's video features the brand new German Tier VIII premium battleship Anhalt that has just entered testing. The Anhalt features quite an impressive main battery consisting of 15 350mm barrels in 5 triple mounted gun turrets, very strong armour and short range high damage torpedoes, along with some decent secondaries. Now, the Anhalt is still a work in progress and subject to balancing changes throughout this testing process. But let's take a look at the current setup, starting with the consumables and the captain build, for which I'm currently testing a secondary build. Starting with the consumables, we can see Anhalt gets damage control party with this specific build, 5 repair parties, and a choice between spotting aircraft and fighter. These are the signals I'm using. The build, as stated, is a secondary build, main armaments, damage control, secondary battery mod 1. I am using the steering gears mod 1 and concealment. So I am using emergency repair specialist, grease the gears. I will be experimenting between these two. Long range secondary battery shells, manual secondary, and then basic survivability, emergency repair, and fire prevention. So secondary build. So let's start by looking at the Anhalt's armour layout. And as stated earlier, this is quite strong. We get a fore end plating of 32mm, upper and lower. Additional fore end armour belt of 200mm, protecting this front turret. Main casemate, here submerged sections 260, 260, 350, 250, and this upper casemate of 170 is quite strong indeed. Main deck armour is 50mm. We have an additional aft end armour belt of 200mm, stretching almost to the tip of the stern. Aft end deck is all 32mm, so quite decent armour. The gun turrets, 320mm frontal plate, top plate 110, side plate 200, sloped element of 180, and the rear is 300. If we look at the internal armour, we can indeed see the Warship is 250, and there is an element of sloped internal armour here. We take off and look at the actual citadel itself. The citadel is submerged underneath the waterline. So let's take a look at the survivability. 69,500 hit points, a torpedo protection damage reduction of 20%, and again this is further reinforced by having 5 repair parties with this build. Moving to the main battery, Anhalt gets 15 of these 350mm barrels mounted in 5 triple mounted gun turrets, 3 at the stern and 2 on the bow. These have a reload time of 30 seconds. They can rotate 180 degrees in 37.5 seconds. They have a max dispersion of 271 meters with a max firing range of 21.1 kilometers. And at the moment these guns have a sigma value of 1.7. They fire both high explosive and armor piercing rounds. The alpha damage on the high explosive is 4,000. 27% fire chance. They can penetrate 88mm of armor with a shell speed of 815 meters per second. The armor piercing alpha is 10,500 with the same shell speed of 815 meters per second. So moving to the secondary battery, Anhalt gets 6 of these twin mounted 105mm guns, 3 on each side. They reload every 2.9 seconds, firing high explosive shells that have a 5% fire chance. They can pen 26mm of armor with a shell speed of 900 meters per second. Anhalt gets an additional 8 of these single mounted 150mm guns, 4 on each side. They fire every 7.3 seconds. They have a max firing range of 11.5 kilometers. Now this is with a full secondary build, 11.5 kilometers. 1800 max damage with a 10% fire chance. They can pen 38mm of armor with a shell speed of 835 meters per second. So 11.5 kilometers is the max range on these secondaries. Anhalt gets an additional 4 single mounted 700mm torpedo launchers. Now these are both submerged near the bow and stern. They have a very fast reload time of 45 seconds, a firing range of 6 kilometers with a max damage of 20,633. They have a torpedo speed of 54 knots and a surface detectability range of 1.7 kilometers. Anhalt gets access to the depth charge Airstrike, 10 kilometers in range with a reload time of 30 seconds, 2 available flights, 2 aircraft per attacking flight, each dropping 3 bombs with a max bomb damage of 2800. Moving to the AA defense, Anhalt gets 14 of these single mounted 20mm guns, 14 20mm, then 16 of these quad mounted 20mm, 64 of these 20mm guns in total, then 10 twin mounted 37mm, 10 of these, and then the 105mm secondary guns also act as AA mounts, 3 of these on each side. They pump out a continuous average damage of 263. With the values 294 short range, 182 mid range, and 123 long range. They have a max firing range of 5.2 kilometers, firing 6 shell explosions per flak salvo with a max damage of 1400. And again, the max firing range is 5.2 kilometers. When it comes to maneuverability, max speed of 26.3 knots. This is included the Euromike speed flag, base speed 25, 26.3 knots, turning circle radius of 900 meters, and a rudder ship time of 12.8 seconds. So finally, stats wise, Anhalt gets a concealment rating of 44. This equates to a surface detection range of 13.5 kilometers. Now you must remember, I am using a secondary build and not using Concealment Expert. You'll be surface detected by enemy submarines and aircraft at 10.3 kilometers. So I hope you enjoyed this quick little preview of the now in testing Tier 8 German battleship Anhalt. If you would like to see some live gameplay feel free to come over and visit me on Twitch. You can see the link here on screen. I look forward to seeing you all. I'd like to thank you once again all for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. Take a moment to check out some of my most recent videos and leave a comment below. And until the next time, keep sailing it like you stole it.